What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Newsletter Growth Lab, the podcast where we break down how today's smartest creators are turning newsletters into profitable, scalable, full-blown businesses. Whether you're just starting your Substack or running a newsletter empire, this show is your behind-the-scenes look at what's working and why. And today we're breaking down a story that feels like a playbook in real time.
We're talking about the rise of Michael Hal and how he built Hal's newsletter, a twice-a-week advice column for startup founders, into a media business with 75,000 plus subscribers, a thriving paid membership, sponsorship revenue, and a powerful new product for creator growth called Megaphone. What started as a personal side project has become one of the most impressive solo newsletter operations we've seen in a while.
Let's start from the top. Michael was running a venture-backed startup. And like many smart founders, he started a small newsletter as a way to grow his personal brand and build community around his product. Nothing fancy, just valuable content, sent out consistently. But then something unexpected happened. The startup didn't survive, but the newsletter did. In fact, it started growing faster. By January of the next year, he had around 10,000 subscribers, just from sharing content and building organically. That's when he said, "What if I go all in on this?"
And he did. He made a deal with himself. If I can hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, I'll treat this as a business. He hit that milestone in July, just halfway through. What's impressive is not just the growth speed, it's how tactically and efficiently he got there.
His early growth playbook is one of the cleanest we've seen. First, he seeded the list using an old batch of 900 emails from a previous newsletter experiment. That gave him early feedback and engagement. Then he did something every creator should take note of. He leaned into distribution where he already had leverage, Twitter and LinkedIn. He shared insights, broke down startup tactics, and linked back to the newsletter in creative ways. Bio links, thread replies, pinned tweets. He wasn't just tweeting for likes. He was optimizing every post for newsletter growth.
But the real unlock? Lead magnets. This was brilliant. He created useful, founder-friendly resources in Airtable, things like investor lists by niche, accelerator application tips, founder-friendly podcasts, and more. He gated them behind email signups, then used Tweet Hunter to set up automated DMs. You'd comment on a post, get a DM, click a link, enter your email, and boom, you're on the list. That tactic alone helped him jump from 10K to 25K subscribers in just 6 to 8 weeks.
Once that traction hit, monetization came next. Around the 10K mark, he started pitching sponsors. These were mostly founder friends and startups he knew personally. Nothing fancy, just cold DMs and a clear offer. Get in front of startup readers who actually care. The volume was low at first, but it was enough to validate. By the time he hit 20 to 25,000, the inbound started. Agencies reached out. Brands wanted placement. And since Michael's niche was so dialed in, early-stage tech founders, the value per subscriber was incredibly high.
Now let's break down his business model, because this is where things get really exciting. Michael has 3 core revenue streams today.
First, sponsorships, which are still the largest. He offers featured ad placements in his Tuesday issue, sponsored Tool of the Week sections, and even founder interviews that double as case studies for brands. It's smart. It's not just ads, it's native storytelling that his readers actually want to read. Second, he launched a paid membership, $15 per month or $150 per year. This includes full access to Saturday deep dives, which are partially gated for free subs, bonus analysis in Tuesday editions, weekly office hours with Michael, fireside chats with successful founders like people from Uber, YC, and more, access to an active community of 500-plus paying founders, and recently IRL meetups in cities like San Francisco, New York City, and Los Angeles. Third, and this might be the most scalable play, he built Megaphone, a growth engine for creators. Here's how it works. You submit a tweet or LinkedIn post, set your budget, and Megaphone finds relevant creators in your niche who are online and ready to engage. They quote, retweet, or comment. And that early engagement drives impressions, followers, and leads. Think of it like a smart engagement pod, but automated and optimized.
Let's go back to the paid membership because this part is full of useful insights. Michael didn't just say, subscribe to go deeper. He used three very specific tactics to convert. Paywalls. Most Saturday issues are gated after the first few paragraphs, just enough to hook you before asking you to pay. Free trial. He offers a no-pressure 7-day trial, and 75% of people who start it convert. Proof of value. Screenshots of fireside chats, community wins, event recaps, showing the real benefit, not just telling.
And he promotes this membership everywhere. Welcome email, check. Drip sequence, absolutely. Under the sponsor blocks in every free issue? Yep. He's consistent, but more importantly, he shows what members get access to. Real conversations, real events, real faces. It's not get access. It's here's what you're missing.
Let's talk about Megaphone a little more because this is something almost every creator wants right now. Reach. Everyone knows the algorithm favors posts that get early engagement. The problem is, most people don't have a group to give that early lift. Megaphone gives them that advantage. It's grown to 130 plus paid users and over 7 million combined followers across its creator network. And it's only 2 months old. This is a product built from deep insight into how social growth actually works.
And speaking of growth, yes, Michael runs paid ads too. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Early CPAs were high, around $35. But once he worked with performance marketers, he lowered that significantly. His best-performing creatives, meme ads, video testimonials, screenshots of community events, no fluff, just proof. The ads worked best when paired with a solid onboarding flow that turned clicks into real engaged readers.
Here's something we love. Michael treats his newsletter like a startup, not a creator brand. That means he's okay running at 0% or even negative margin early on, because growth is the priority. Profit comes later. And the beauty of newsletters is that when the time comes, you can flip that profit switch almost instantly.
So, what if you're sitting there with 10,000 subscribers and don't know how to monetize beyond sponsorships? Michael's advice is simple. Launch a paid product. It could be a Notion template, a Slack community, a mini course, or a paid tier of the newsletter. But the key is, talk to your audience, run surveys, jump on calls, find the real problems. Then build something useful to solve them. And when you launch, don't go quiet. Coordinate a multi-channel push, email, Twitter, LinkedIn, affiliate partnerships. Make launch week a moment.
One of his most underrated tactics? Selling by showing. He doesn't rely on long-form copy or hyped-up CTAs. He shares screenshots of Slack threads, snippets of upcoming calls, selfies from community meetups. He doesn't pitch. He proves.
And finally, let's talk about engagement groups. Yes, they're real. Yes, they work. But most of them die out because they rely on personal connections and unspoken rules. That's what makes Megaphone such a clever play. It productizes what works, removes the relationship barrier, and democratizes growth.
So what's next for Hal's newsletter? The roadmap looks solid. Keep growing the list, scale Megaphone, build out more IRL community events, and maybe even explore acquisitions. Michael's even hinted that he might start buying smaller newsletters with aligned audiences. Because at this point, he's not just writing a newsletter, he's building a media company.
That's it for this episode of Newsletter Growth Lab. If this helped you, pass it on to a fellow creator. Leave a review. And don't forget, newsletters aren't just content plays. They're businesses. Build like one. We'll see you next time.